What's up, everyone? It's your boy Norm Radd89 here, bringing you another video today. It's going to be a rad movie review for Cocaine Bear. Yes, I got a chance to go to the theaters, checked out Cocaine Bear. This is a film directed by Elizabeth Banks, and today we're going to talk about my positives, the negatives, and the rating. Then I'm going to send you all home. And of course, these are just my thoughts, my opinions. That means I would love to hear from all of you in the comments section. If you've seen this film, totally let me know if you're thinking about going to see it in theaters. Hit me up so I can let you know, watch this review, and I'll tell you if it's worth it. So let's do this. Roll it. So Cocaine Bear is a new horror comedy that, the title just says everything you need to know, really. What do you need to know? But it is about a 500-pound bear that ingests a lot of cocaine and goes on a fueled rampage in this national park area, and we have a whole host of characters that come across this bear. So let's get right into the positives right away. Is that, for me, this is a film that you can tell the writer and director, they knew exactly what they wanted it to be, and they don't try to be anything else. They don't try to be talking about social commentary or try to take itself too seriously. None of that. They knew exactly what they were trying to do, and they executed on that concept, and I think they did a very good job. So this is one of those films, like, straight off, just by the title and like all that kind of stuff, you kind of know what you're getting into once you get into this. And if this isn't your jam, like horror comedies or creature flicks like this that are just bombastic rides, if that's not your thing, then stay away from this movie. But I had quite an enjoyable ride for sure. Another fantastic thing about this film is the cast. We have a banging cast. We have Kerry Russell, O'Shea Jackson, we got Jesse Tyler Ferguson, we even got Ray Liotta. Rest in peace, we miss you, Ray. And I believe this is the last film that he did. So we have a whole host of awesome cast members. Do they all deliver? I would say some of the storylines I'm mixed on, but a lot of them they do deliver, and the comedy, they bring it and stuff. And also what I really do love about this film is the nostalgic 80s nature to it. I love that. When you have an 80s soundtrack, you got the 80s looks going on and stuff like that, and the period piece setting, like, that's just going to hit home for me because that's my favorite era to return to, and nostalgia, like 80s. So that's the best when you have all that kind of vibes going on in your film. So that was another thing that I quite enjoyed about this movie. Now we also have to talk about the gore. There is gore aplenty, and there is a very high body count, and if you're into gore and you're a gore hound, that's going to be right up your alley because, like I said, they spared no expense. The kill scenes and all that stuff, you can tell that's where they took the most care. They had a really good cast to support the film around it, but what you're really there for is to see all the crazy antics that this bear gets into and all the violent scenes that ensue when he attacks people. So yeah, there's a lot of gore, and like I said, all that stuff, they really delivered and focused on that for this film. So yeah, again, you can tell the writer and director knew exactly what they wanted this film to be. Another great thing is that this is a quick watch. It's an hour and a half. It doesn't stretch itself too long or try to be anything more than it is, like I said. So it's a quick hour and a half watch of a creature flick that has wild comedy in it, crazy kills. So it's very much, creature 80s flick kind of trauma type film, you know what I mean, with this wild concept. And you just kind of have to sit down, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. And probably my favorite kind of side storyline thing, I don't want to spoil too much, I'm not trying to spoil things, but my favorite side storyline kind of thing has to do, or just jokes, it's not really a storyline, it's just these consistent jokes that happen through the film, is about one character and his jersey. And if you know me at all, I'm a sports fan, and I'm a jersey fanatic too. I collect jerseys, and there's just certain jokes that go on with this jersey that just kept me laughing. Like, I was rolling in some of my favorite moments, and yeah, that was laughing. My wife was even like, oh, yep, that's you. And now let's get on to the mixed and negatives, because this wasn't a perfect film. There were some elements that they missed on, and for me, the comedy doesn't always land. It definitely hits more often than it misses, but there is some couple side storylines, couple characters that was not like cool with. I was just like, they were funny at first, but I didn't really need so much time with them and so much of this stuff with them. So that's one thing, is like there is a lot of time you spend with these characters because they're trying to kind of introduce you to them, and it's really fun because they're all extreme versions. Every actor and actress, they get to go for it because they're all extreme versions of the characters that are written into this film. But yeah, there was one side storyline with a couple characters that was just like, it got kind of tiresome, and I probably could have did without that, and they could have just showed up in the film and died, and I would have been cool with it. Another thing is the gore is up the ante, and I love the kills, but the CGI doesn't always work. And I feel like with 2023, we definitely could have had better CGI. And I think maybe the director, I feel like it was a choice by Elizabeth Banks to go this route to have a less crisp CGI where it kind of looks, oh, that's fake. You can tell because to keep you at arm's length so you don't get too attached to the story or it doesn't feel too real. But I wish the bear effects and some of the stuff were a little bit more polished and crisp. And also when it comes to our third act, I really do like our eventual landing spot, the very ending landing spot. And I must tell you, there are 2 mid-credit scenes, so you have to stay through. Not all the way through the credits, but you have to sit there because there's 2 mid-credit scenes. So, but at the ending landing spot I liked. But when everything's coming to a head and all our characters and everybody and the bear and all of them are meeting at this certain area in this place, it does kind of get fumbled at that point. There was a part where I was just like, oh, like it wasn't as strong or as powerful as some of the other scenes that were in the movie. And with it being the kind of final scene where everything's coming to a head, I wanted it to be a little bit more juicy, a little bit more potent. But overall, in my book, Cocaine Bear, I still had a fucking fantastic time. And for a rating in my book, Cocaine Bear is going to get an 8 out of 10. It's a very solid rating and one that I highly recommend checking out in theaters. Like, this is going to have you laughing. It's, like I said, quick watch. Got awesome kills if you're a gore hound, and like I said, it's a film that you don't have to take too seriously, and that's great. And for Elizabeth Banks, in terms of her movies so far, I believe she's done 3 films so far, and this is my favorite film of hers, I think, so far. I really had a fucking fun time with this one, and so far for 2023, I would say this is like my second favorite film of the year so far out of like the 9 or 10 films that I've seen for this year already. But these are just my thoughts and my opinions on Cocaine Bear. That means let me know in the comment section what you think of this film, if you've seen it, or if you're going to the theaters thinking about going to check it out. Totally hit me up and let me know. I would love to hear from you. But most importantly, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing on the channel, and have a safe and happy day. Peace out.